Support WrestleTalk!
It is Full Gear predictions times, AEW's latest pay-per-view. I'm Fakidor, Laurie Blake. This is Chopper Pete Quinnell, and we are going to, in fact, predict what we think will happen on the show. More to play for you here.
I know.
You need to pull some out of the bag,
I know.
because currently in the Wrestle League standings, this guy on his own is the top dog. 44 points.
All of Wrestle League.
Not just in the office. Out of all, I'm better than all of you. All right? I'm better than you.
Stop turning heel.
At predictions.
I know you've done that a couple times now, but stop turning heel.
I'm not turning heel. It's not being a heel to point out the truth, Chopper, is it? Like, it's the truth. It's a fact.
So in this series of Wrestle League so far, Laurie has 44 points. Randy Andy Datson has 40, as does Luke. Ollie has 39, and I have 36. Have we lost the WrestleTalk emoji?
We've lost the trophy.
No, we haven't.
There he is.
It's the WrestleTalk
Trophy emoji trophy.
Wrestle League trophy emoji trophy. There we go. That's
what
we're playing for.
If you win the league by Survivor Series. So we've got.
Yes.
So Full Gear is the third to last pay-per-view that we're predicting.
Yeah,
so Full Gear, and then we've got
Takeover
War Games, and then Survivor Series.
Yes.
And Survivor Series is where the league ends, and then we'll know who is the winner and who is the loser, who'll be doing a punishment, and who of the SWAF Nation will be receiving the trophy emoji trophy. Good thing about Survivor Series, though, also, is that it ticks over. So that is also the start of the next season of Wrestle League.
Season 4, I believe.
Season 4,
yeah. So then, if you want to get involved with that, you can head over to WrestleTalk's Patreon, patreon.com/WrestleTalk, and I believe it's $5 pledge, hammers and above.
If you pledge for any amounts, basically.
Yes, then you can get involved with Wrestle League, and it will be great. So this is the first pay-per-view that AEW have done since they started their weekly TV deal was what I was supposed to say.
And suddenly, it feels like the matches are very important.
Yeah. I'm genuinely quite excited for this. Also, Laurie and I are going to be doing live reactions to Full Gear on Saturday night in this very studio, in these very seats. So yeah, stay tuned for WrestleTalk for that. You won't.
I'll sit off screen.
Perfect.
Fine.
Yeah, just be me and Shawn. So stay tuned for that. We'll do live reactions to that. But first, it's time to predict. So we've got on the pre-show, we've got one match on the pre-show. It is Bea Priestley versus Britt Baker in a feud that started, and then they just kind of stopped appearing on Dynamite. And now they're like, they have a match. Where's the build? Who knows?
Yeah, that's how I feel about this. I'm just like, I don't know.
To peel back the curtain a little bit, I've submitted my form already for my predictions. Can't remember what I picked though for this one. I'm gonna get up my form so I can actually see.
Already responded for your responses.
There we go.
That's good. Now I can copy you.
Absolutely don't do that. Okay, so I have apparently gone for Bea Priestley, which I think is an outside pick because I think that Britt Baker is a favorite, and if it's on the pre-show, I don't think it's going to mean that much. No, I think it's just going to be, hey, get excited because the face won. Unless they're going to use it to build into the feud again, which completely goes against what my pick actually is, which is Bea Priestley. So I think it's going to be. I just picked B, really. I just picked B. Do you know what? I like Bea Priestley. Okay, I want that pick as well. You want B as well? Yeah, I think if you're gonna go back to the feud, let's pick it up. Let's involve Bea Priestley. All right. Unless this is the culmination of their feud. They're not feud. Yeah, they're not into non-feud. Next thing. Right. On to the main card then. We've got Joey Janela versus Shawn Spears, of course, accompanied by Tully Blanchard. And this has been set up a little bit. It was referenced on Dynamite. The Shawn Spears attempted to murder Brandon Cutler by doing a Death Valley Driver on a chair, but Joey Janela ran out to make the save. Spears attempted to pull Janela's tongue out with some pliers or something. It's pretty rad. So they've got a match here. Again, I think I need to check my sheet because I can't remember this one. Well, I think Shawn Spears is going to win. Okay. You've gone with I think Shawn Spears will win because I think they're going to try to maintain him slightly higher up the card than the likes of Joey Janela. Okay. I think Janela is like if you're not going to do the horrible things to Brandon Cutler, you can do them to Joey Janela because he'll be like, "Sign me up for some of that, son. That's my shtick." So he's going to be getting put into chairs and stuff. Yeah, maybe. I've actually gone for Janela. according to my forms that I've submitted, because I think that they see him quite highly, honestly, from the matches that he's had from previous pay-per-views and things. He's been featured pretty significantly in some of like the hardcore stips and all that stuff. So I think Janela. There you go. Next, we've got the AEW World Tag Team Championship match, which is SCU, the current tag team champions, defending their titles against the Lucha Bros, who they beat for the titles, and Private Party, who on this week's episode of Dynamite got the bronze medal for the tournament because they actually did a bronze medal match, and for winning that match, they got then inserted into this match, so it's a triple threat between the three teams. I have gone for SCU for this one.
Because they're going to retain.
Because they only just won the titles. I don't think they do that. I think this would be more open if it wasn't so close to they won. Because they won the titles 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So I think if they left it more time between their first title win and this defense, then you'd be like, ooh, maybe it's time for them to drop it. But I think because they just won it, I think they're going to keep it, try and establish those belts a little bit. So I don't think they're going to change hands yet.
I'm umming and ahhing about that because I'm just like, what will, like... Depending on if the main championship changes hands, like something, I think some belt is going to swap.
Yeah,
and I'm just not sure which. I don't think the women's belt will swap. Realistically.
Yeah.
So I feel like in a triple threat scenario, there's a way for the Lucha Bros to pin Private Party.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where my brain's going.
Okay.
And then I don't know whether it's just 2 weeks is too short.
Yeah.
But it is dramatic upset.
It is dramatic upset. And SCU did only win off a small package out of nowhere, so it wasn't a decisive victory per se. Lucha Bros.
This is where I fall from grace. This is it.
At the minute, we haven't got
rocketing to the bottom of the list.
The only prediction we've got the same at the minute is B Priestley.
Yep.
Right, now we've got
which is an outlier at best.
The AEW Women's Championship match. Riho, the champion, defending against Emi Sakura. That story really hasn't been told at all, but on Dynamite this week, they were like, oh, by the way, Emi Sakura actually trained Riho. It's like, oh, that's a really cool story to tell.
And she pinned her, right?
She did.
Yeah.
She pinned her in a really cool sequence to end the match. It was just a bunch of roll-ups and counters, and then Emi Sakura got the pin. So it wasn't like a clean, I hit my finisher, I win kind of thing. It was a roll-up, but she did pin her. So it's possible she can beat her.
I spin the story out of that now, like, the master schooled the student again on AEW Dynamite, but now the student schools the master and Riho wins, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm also saying Riho, I think it's too early for her to drop the belt, and I don't think Sakura's been built up enough to be a big kind of victory to take the title off Riho.
It kind of would feel like just a sort of straight swap.
Yes, exactly.
In my eyes, it's like, especially if you're doing like the master student sort of thing, it doesn't. They haven't built the feud enough, and it would just feel like a sort of like we're just trading in another Japanese person now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Next, we have got Hangman Adam Page against Pac. Now, this I thought would have been a very easy prediction. However, Hangman has been built up quite significantly on AEW recently, and he's looked really, really good lately. Probably the best he's looked since AEW started. They've been really pushing him. However, I'm going with Pac because I think they are protecting Pac a lot more than Hangman, and I think that this may lead into a potential Hangman heel turn. Because they've been teasing that on being the elite, and this might be the straw that breaks the camel's back, so to speak, and this might be the thing that causes him to snap and lose it, maybe.
Yeah, I'm not sure because I feel like Hangman hasn't, since losing out on the title, hasn't had a hell of a lot to do, like in a big storyline way. So this is his kind of big comeback to pay-per-views and. Generally speaking, just that kind of, this is a time to rebuild his character, whereas I think Pac has always been strong. Yeah. So I'm leaning towards Page. But I liked what you said about Pac, so now I want that. Yeah. Give me a Pac. I like Pac. Thank you.
Going for Pac. I think. I think they care more about Pac and protecting him, and I think he's probably going to be a title contender.
Sooner rather than later.
Yeah, sooner rather than later. So I think going to build him up more. Next, we have got the Young Bucks versus Santana and Ortiz, a.k.a. Proud and Powerful. That's not a good name. Anyway.
LAX was taken, I think.
Yeah, LAX is gone, which is
They could have gone with LAX-ative.
Should have done just like the next letter in the alphabet of each of those letters.
Yeah. M
B Y. MBY, everybody. Yep, it's LAX, but not. Anyway, Young Bucks, Santana Ortiz. I think I went for Santana and Ortiz for this one. Did I? I did. I went for Santana and Ortiz because I think that Young Bucks are willing to put people over, and I think that they want to build up the Inner Circle as a proper faction. So they really want to establish Santana and Ortiz as a dominant force. And I think they'll do it maybe with some sort of interference from other members of the Inner Circle of Jake Hager or Sammy Guevara or someone like that can come in and run a distraction. Santana and Ortiz get the win. I think that's how it goes.
Yeah, I think that too.
Yeah.
I think also because that builds Young Bucks winning doesn't build drama to the title match. Santana and Ortiz winning puts all the pressure on Cody, and that's what you want to do. You want to pile the pressure on the babyface. So
yeah, that's good. Also, if I think Lucha Bros or Private Party win the tag titles, then Santana and Ortiz immediately become a contender straight afterwards, which is cool.
And also, you want a Lucha Bros Santana Ortiz match for sure.
Yes, you do. And then we have got the AEW World Title match. Chris Jericho, Le Champion, defending against Cody. Now, I thought, again, this would be a really easy prediction until this week's episode of Dynamite, because Cody's promo has completely flipped the entire story on its head, and I don't know what to think anymore. Cody has said in his promo he had an extra stipulation in this match. So this has a 60-minute time limit, and there are 3 judges just in case it goes to that hour. I don't think those judges are getting used. I think that's a red herring. However, Cody did add an extra stipulation saying that if he doesn't beat Chris Jericho in this match, he will never challenge for the AEW title again.
Who has he got as the judges? That's what I want to know.
It's just 3 people.
Is it like Robot Wars? It's like Dave Sharkey and...
That'd be amazing. Maybe it's Chuck Norris, from Dodgeball.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great. So this was a very, very hard prediction for me. However, I believe I've gone for Jericho.
You went for Jericho.
I went for Jericho because I think they need to keep the belt on Jericho to establish that title, and they don't want to hotshot it for now. And I think there's a really good story to tell with Cody not being able to challenge for the title because, one, if they introduce a mid-card championship at some point, a TV title or whatever, some equivalent of that, then I think Cody would be an amazing mid-card champion for that, and he would elevate other people into that role. You can have the established star Cody, almost kind of like like the open challenge that John Cena did. If he just has, people like Jimmy Havoc or other people that are escaping me right now, Darby Allin, like people like that challenging for that mid-card title with Cody as the champ, I think that really elevates those guys and puts them on a kind of a similar level there. So I think Cody would be a really great mid-card champion to elevate other talent. And I think there's a really good story of maybe like a year or 2 years down the line, Cody either turns heel and gives himself a world title match, or some stipulation happens that means he's eventually allowed to get a world title match, and that story has been built for years, and I think this is where that seed gets planted, so I think Cody loses. Maybe. I still don't know.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the... I think also it's not the finale. It's probably not going to be the finale of the show, because if John versus Kenny Omega is an unsanctioned match, that needs to be at the end, really. So you're not going they're not going to be leaving people on a downer. They're going to be like, here's a downer, Cody loses, and then here's the upper.
But here's Moxley Omega.
So yeah, I'm kind of in the Jericho ballpark as well, because I think also you want to really, this feud is about Inner Circle versus the Elite happening later, rather than the I think it's been a great feud so far. Those 2 video packages, the video package from Jericho and Cody's promo this week on Dynamite were both phenomenal.
Yes, they were.
But yeah, I do think Jericho's going to retain.
Yep. Cool. And then we've got probably the last match of the show, as reported by Dave Meltzer. He's been told it's probably going to be the last match on the card. John Moxley versus Kenny Omega in a lights-out match. So technically unsanctioned, hardcore rules, etc., playing into Moxley's wheelhouse a little bit. I'm going for Mox on this one. I think, one, because I think Moxley would look great with a massive victory over someone like Kenny Omega. I think that would do wonders for him. And I think it plays further into Kenny's story of being on that kind of losing streak and, maybe needed to find the cleaner within him and all that jazz that they've been doing for ages. I think it just furthers all the stories that they've got right now of Moxley being, the baddest person the baddest bitch in the company or whatever he said. And if Jericho does retain, Moxley next, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think Moxley is the way to go for this match.
I'm in the Moxley camp.
You're in the Mox?
It's his match type.
Yes,
I just feel like he's still kind of finding his feet. And I think with all the elite guys, they're so over in this company that they don't really need to win. For quite a while, they don't actually need big wins.
Yeah.
They're quite happy to put over other people. And I think Moxley is one person that you can do something incredible here and just immediately go, well, he's now a world champion contender.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And then finally, we've got our bonus question, which is, how many super kicks will the Young Bucks deliver in their match? I have gone for 8.
8?
8.
11.
11. Okay.
I'm just...
Yeah.
Pull it out my ass.
Pick a number. Yeah, it depends how you think the match is going to go. I think there's going to be lots of comeback sequences, including super kicks. So, yeah, I think 8 is a good number.
We'll try and keep a running total on the live reactions that we're doing on YouTube on the weekend. But I'll forget.
If we remember.
I will forget.
Totally going to forget. But anyway, yeah, that is all the predictions. So, that's all we got time for on this video. Tune in to WrestleTalk on Saturday, as we'll be doing those live reactions, as we mentioned before. And if you haven't yet, go over to WrestleTalk's Patreon so you can get involved with Wrestle League as well and get your predictions in there. I've been Jobber P. Quinnell. This is Fakidor Laurie Blake. Press the videos as well. And that was predictions.
Press the videos as well.
Press the videos as well.